NBA chant with the Spurs. So the Lakers announced last night minutes restriction. I'm driving to work thinking this morning, I could make an argument, just sit him, get up into the lottery. It's a lost season. What would you do if you ran the Lakers?
I'm not even going as far as the lottery. I'm just thinking of next year and what you're building. Like, if it ain't beneficial, it's artificial. Why play him now? You're not playing for anything. You know what LeBron's going to do. The most important thing for this team now is to find out what the other piece is going to do. So you have guys on the team right now that you're going to either use as trade pieces or guys that's going to be a part of your bench next year. Let these guys play. Let these young guys play so you can see who's going to be professional, who's going to finish the year on the right note, who's going to play the right way, and see what guys that you can bring back next year that can help you build for a championship. You know what LeBron going to bring. Whoever you trade for, you know what they're going to bring. Use these young guys, give them a time to get experience and be professional and see what you're going to bring back next year.
Do you think he regrets coming to Los Angeles?
Not at all. You don't break records and all of a sudden have regrets. That just don't happen. You know, I'm pretty sure he knew the only thing that he's saying that, okay, now I realize what it is. He sees the Western Conference as not a joke. He was dominant. He can have a bad season and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. You can't do that in the West. You can't do it by yourself. So that's the only thing that's probably surprising him. But everything else, he knew it was going to be harder to get a championship.
You know, I said, Stephen, Kobe Bryant always lived down in Orange County, helicoptered in. He never got sucked into the L.A. thing. Mm-hmm. The L.A. Ram players, many of them live up Thousand Oaks. That's like an hour, 45 minutes away. LeBron lives right in the heart of agents, producers. And when he moved to town, I had somebody kind of around the Lakers circle said, listen, billionaires are lining up to have lunch with him. Mm-hmm. We saw him with Al Pacino, Leonardo DiCaprio, that he got sucked in a little. Like, listen, if you're a gambler, it's one thing to be a gambler and then move to Vegas and be a gambler. Mm-hmm. When you're into the Hollywood thing, which LeBron is tipped his toe in the pool, then you move to Beverly Hills. Could I argue that he kind of got sucked into the L.A. thing a little bit? Because I think he looks like a distracted player this year.
Well, a lot has went on that he didn't take credit for. With the players and the young guys kind of turning their back and not knowing if they're going to come in and they're playing, giving up on the team. But at the end of the day, you can't fault a man for building stuff for after basketball. I mean, who wouldn't? I applaud him. I don't think he's everything he's doing off the court is knocking off his focus from basketball. He's still the best player in the game. Him and KD, the best players in the game. A Greek freak now, but I think everything he's doing is great, man. I don't think he's losing focus at all.
Well, what do you make? Adam Silver came out this week and said, at a Sloan MIT conference, a bunch of smart people, my players are unhappy, social media. Charles Barkley came out and said, Kyrie Irving is the most miserable human being I've ever seen. What do you make of the unhappy guys, social media, the new millennial DNA?
Well, a lot of guys in the NBA now, and I see it, most guys are more into what the game can do for them than loving to play the game. Kyrie loves to play basketball. And we are guys like Kyrie. Yeah, we know the money's great and the money's changed our lives, but the game of basketball is the reason. So I played this game and I show up here to play this game and be the best at this game. You got some guys, all they care about is walking through the tunnel on IG and being seen on the cameras so the girls can see them on IG. You got those type of guys. Then you got those guys that come in the game. Okay, once I get the contract, I don't even want to play. I don't even care. As long as I can stack this money up.
See, that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
You played with guys who didn't love the game.
Oh, what? Every team has at least two guys that don't love the game. And I've heard this from guys that's playing now, and me being on outside the league, and I'm hearing guys say this now. They got young guys that come in that don't even work, show up to practice late, don't even approach the game, and I blame that on a lot of the veterans. Because when I was in the league and I didn't work, I had guys like Steve Nash, Steve Smith, Danny Ferry, Steve Kerr. Jack, you got to get him work. Tim Duncan, you got to get him work. I don't care. You young, you got to get him work. They forced us. I couldn't show up late. I wouldn't play. I wouldn't even get a chance to get on the court if I showed up late. These days, these kids can do what they want. Like Donnie Walsh called them, they bonus babies. They're getting bonuses and acting like babies.
We got a lot of money. Got a lot of money.
And I'm happy they're getting their money. And you got to credit that to LeBron, too. LeBron is a big reason why a lot of these guys are getting paid. Guys that's a 6-7 man on the bench making $10 million a year. because of LeBron. So, he's done a lot for the game, and the reason why I give him so much props because he didn't care. It wasn't just about him. He did it for all the guys in the league.
I want to go to the top 10 all-time scoring list. LeBron is now 4. And I'm going to go through the list, and I'm going to ask you about some of the individual players.
Okay.
So the all-time greatest scorer in NBA history is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm older. I grew up watching him. The most unstoppable shot ever. The sky hook, between his size, the way he shot it, and his left hand. It really was an indefensible shot. About 75 to 80% of his points came from that shot. If I say Karl Malone, number 2 scorer, were you a Karl Malone fan?
Not at all.
Why not?
We never got Utah games on our feed in Texas. Like Utah wasn't a big team nobody wasn't buying Utah jerseys. You didn't see nobody with a Karl Malone or John Stockton jersey on the rap videos. So nobody knew nothing about Utah. No, I was not a Karl Malone fan.
Really?
No.
His game didn't do anything for you?
No.
It wasn't above the rim.
I like Barkley, but I think Barkley was better than Karl Malone.
So do I. Kobe Bryant. What do you make of Kobe Bryant? Did you love him?
The best scorer ever.
Huh?
He had so much in his game, like
most moves ever.
The best scorer ever to me.
You guarded him a lot?
Yes.
How'd it go?
I had some good nights against him, but he never gave me 50. And he probably gave me 40 a couple times. But LeBron is the only player I feel like if he had the attitude Kobe had, he could have gave me 50 every night. And I've never been given 50 in my career. But if LeBron had Kobe attitude, he could have destroyed me every time.
So Kobe's attitude was a big part of it.
Relentless. I'm coming at you all game on both ends of the court. If I need to guard you, I will. But I'm coming at you all night, every night.
Let's go to 5, Michael Jordan. You didn't face a ton of him.
I played him once, one time when he was with the Wizards.
And he not nearly as vertical then.
But he wasn't that vertical, but he still was getting his shot off. He still was Michael Jordan. Every time he got the ball, everybody. He's still Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Mike is my favorite, man. I mean, if I had to put players down, I'd go Kareem, Jordan, Kobe, but Mike is my favorite player of all time.
Dirk Nowitzki, number 7. What do you make of him? I say he's the best Euro ever, and the first 7-footer who was an elite shooter.
Well, he's probably the best Euro ever, but you got to think, go back to Jersey, the number 3, but Petrovic, he was a problem.
So Dirk didn't do much for you?
Well, I look at it different. I guarded Dirk. I locked Dirk up a lot of times. We beat them when they was the number 1 seed as the 8 seed. So I look at stuff different when I played against these guys. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dirk is great, don't get me wrong. But I stopped Dirk a lot, and I served him a lot. So I look at it different. Dirk's a great player, but he wasn't a problem to me.
By the way, you played with Tim Duncan, not on this list. It always surprises me that Duncan also played within a system, like a Tom Brady. He played within a system. It wasn't reliant simply on Duncan, although he was a remarkable player. Is he the best teammate you ever had?
I think as far as careers, I think Tim Duncan had the best career of anybody I played with. He's the best player I've ever played with by far. The best player I've ever played with.
How much was attitude? How much was game?
It was everything. Leadership. Teammate, leading by example, being a brother on and off the court. Tim, he did everything. Like he did everything, and he gave me a title that I hold on to the rest of my life, being an ultimate teammate.
Finally, I talked to somebody inside of LeBron's circle yesterday, and they said this year gave them clarity. That they know who they can depend on and who they can't. It gave them clarity, even though they acknowledged it was a really bad season. Injury, optics, all that. It gave me clarity, too, and here's what it showed me. LeBron's always played well with shooters. This is a shooters league, and the Lakers don't have any. And I don't think you can go from no shooters on a roster to several in 1 year because everybody in the league's trying to get shooters. I don't see Anthony Davis as solving their biggest problem. They're 29th in threes. That's not the game anymore.
I always say that if they traded Anthony Davis, that's still not guaranteeing the championship.
Oh, God, no.
Not even close. You got to make other moves. And even though we all knew that Bron wanted shooters here, what shooters did they bring in? They didn't bring in no shooters. They brought in some guys that were veterans. They didn't bring in no shooters.
They had Brook Lopez. Let him go.
Brandon, and I don't even consider him a shooter. I mean, he can knock down shots, but I'm talking about Kyle Korvers. I'm talking about guys. That's the guys that LeBron need around him because he takes in so much attention. Guys have wide open shots. If you can't make a wide open shot playing with LeBron, you don't need to be on the court.
Good seeing you, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Steven Jackson, Joy Taylor with the news.
No.